She was the villain.
How was she dangerous?
Because of the need.
This is gross and grim and deranged on every level.
Buzz by bringing up the memory of Princess Diana, and it didn't sit right with Prince Harry at all. Reports say he was deeply upset this time, and not even the usual palace calm could smooth things over fast enough. The whole situation feels unsettling and messy. This wasn't some rehearsed or polished moment. Sources describe it as raw, emotional, and impossible to look away from. Meghan might think she's winning attention here, but the world is watching closely now, and people are talking. According to witnesses, the breaking point came when Harry saw Meghan's video filmed just steps away from the Paris tunnel where his mother lost her life. The timing and place made it all feel off. Even her look in the clip raised eyebrows. Folks said it seemed more like something you'd see at a family celebration, not a public spotlight moment. For Harry, that spot isn't just another background, it's a place filled with deep, painful memories. Sources close to him say something inside him changed when he saw it. There wasn't a calm statement or careful royal response, just pure emotion spilling out. It's honestly heartbreaking to imagine how heavy that moment must have felt for him. That tunnel represents the most tragic night of his life, and those close to him say this moment hit harder than anyone could have guessed. It's tough to see anyone relive something that painful in the public eye. People keep asking the same thing again and again. Who does something like this?
Well, how about having some thought towards your husband's feelings when you're in the same city his mom and running around having a joyride in Paris near where she lost her life?
Who treats a place tied to such deep pain like it's just a background for a video? Some are calling Meghan the one stirring the drama this time, saying she's trying to reshape her image no matter the cost. Sources say Meghan looked calm and carefree, lounging in the back of a fancy car, feet up, smiling with filters on, right as the car passed the very spot where Princess Diana lost her life. Stephanie Sidley even said, "If driving toward Princess Diana's death scene is a message to Prince William, then Meghan Markle is the devil." That comment lit up social media instantly. The clip spread online like wildfire, and the backlash came fast. Critics slammed it as out of touch, badly timed, and hard to justify. Insiders close to Harry say it crossed a line he never thought would be crossed, and this time it felt personal. Adding to the tension, Meghan had just been seen at the Balenciaga fashion show in Paris, a brand that's faced heavy criticism in the past, making the timing look even stranger. People were shocked that she'd pair that trip with something so sensitive. Harry has stayed silent through years of noise, but this time insiders claim he couldn't hold back. He reportedly confronted Meghan behind the scenes.
I was just checking Us Weekly, Harry and Meghan's personal press release service. I want to give you some of the headlines from Us Weekly in the last few hours.
Okay.
Meghan Markle quietly attends Balenciaga's Paris Fashion Week show. Quietly.
Calling the act cold, self-serving, and completely against what Princess Diana stood for. Those who know the couple say the exchange was tense and emotional. Witnesses described the moment as her filming herself, legs stretched out, driving past the Paris tunnel where Diana's life tragically ended. And those close to the situation say Harry's reaction cut through the glamorous Paris night like a storm. And it didn't stop there. Things only got more intense. If you know your partner is deeply affected by a place tied to such painful memories, why even go near it? That's the question everyone's asking right now. Behind the doors of a luxury suite, what began as a tense exchange reportedly turned into a serious confrontation that even their closest friends couldn't calm down. Some say the conversation took a sharp turn when Harry questioned her choices, especially her connection with a fashion brand that's faced public outrage before. People everywhere are now wondering, did Meghan finally cross the line between ambition and insensitivity? Was it planned or just an unfortunate coincidence? Many are saying she should have shown a little more thought for her husband's emotions.
It was just a terrible look. She does not look good. It looks like something you would see at a grandma's, like, if she's celebrating her, let's say, 60th wedding anniversary, that's what a grandma would wear.
Especially while visiting the same city where her mother passed away. Instead, Meghan was seen cruising through Paris, smiling for cameras, while Harry's feelings seemed left in the background. The whole thing played out under the flashing lights and cheers of Fashion Week, and what was meant to be her big comeback turned into a PR storm. Meghan had the perfect setup: front row seats, designer approval, cameras focused on her, luxury on display. It was supposed to be a harmless moment of glamour, just another public appearance. At least that's what Harry hoped. But insiders say he couldn't ignore the irony. Harry has spoken publicly about safety concerns in the UK, yet Meghan was out in Paris, surrounded by the very media attention that once caused his family so much pain. This was the Meghan brand in full motion. Polished, powerful, and grabbing attention like never before. Everything seemed to be going her way until that video dropped. Just a few seconds of footage, a casual clip posted online like any influencer moment. Feed up, phone in hand, gliding through the streets of Paris. Meghan looked like she was in her own world, doing her own thing, while Harry seemed left out of the picture. But the second that car rolled past the Pont de l'Alma tunnel, the very site tied to Princess Diana's final hours, the internet completely erupted. Comment sections exploded with heated debates.
Finally, Meghan Markle turns up at Paris Fashion Week, fancying herself to be kind of budget Angelina Jolie, but without the talent or the tits or the teeth. I mean, I think she fancies herself to be a bit of a catwalk model, more like a...
People called it disrespectful, staged, and impossible to defend. Have you seen that video? No? Pull it up, one viewer said, and soon everyone was watching. For those who remember that tragic night, the clip didn't feel casual. It felt unsettling, like a painful memory being turned into a moment of style. What made things worse wasn't just the video itself, it was what came after. No apology, no clarification, not even a hint of regret. Just Meghan flashing that same composed smile at her next high-profile event, as if nothing happened. But insiders claimed that her silence wasn't calm, it was strategy. They say Meghan wasn't backing off, she was pushing forward, completely on her own terms. Behind those designer shades and picture-perfect poses, she wasn't tuning out the criticism, she was taking it in, knowing that every headline and every outrage only pulled more eyes toward her. The louder the backlash got, the more cameras turned her way. That's when everything changed. What first looked like a careless moment started to feel way too deliberate. Online watchers began breaking the video down frame by frame, and suddenly people noticed the details. The car wasn't taking a random route, it was retracing the same path Diana's car had taken that night, turning right toward the Pont de l'Alma underpass. That discovery flipped the entire story. This didn't seem like coincidence anymore. It felt choreographed. Every turn, every camera angle, every second looked planned to spark attention. And it worked, because the outrage came fast and loud. Let's look at some of the latest headlines from US Weekly. Meghan Markle quietly attends Balenciaga's Paris fashion show.
She's walking around Paris like she's the She's got her arms flowing. She's really feeling her oats. Woman, please go back to California and be with your children and go and find a career other than just being desperate for attention every single day.
Quietly? Really? That word alone had people talking. Commentators called the move symbolic, while royal reporters labeled it downright unsettling. But what truly broke through the noise was Prince Harry's reaction. And this time, it was nothing like before. For years, Harry stood by Meghan through every headline, every rumor, and every bit of chaos that came their way. But this time, Witnesses say he had enough. He reportedly walked out of the event and refused to travel with her afterward. Insiders claimed the argument that followed wasn't just about where she filmed, it was about why she did it. Harry allegedly told her she was turning his mother's memory into a way to get attention, and that hit hard. Meghan's rumored reply stunned everyone. "It's just a location, not your property." That sentence reportedly changed everything between them. She was later seen strolling through Paris, all confidence and flair, fully embracing the spotlight. Critics couldn't believe it. Some even said, "Please, just go back to California, focus on your family, and find something meaningful to do that doesn't revolve around being in the headlines every single day." Hours later, Meghan appeared front row at the Balenciaga fashion show, the same brand still facing public criticism for past controversies. For many observers, the image was striking. A woman who built her reputation on compassion and ethics, now standing silent when the world expected her to speak. Her defense, according to sources, was simple. She said she was showing support, but not everyone bought it.
Especially when he's on the BBC saying that it's not safe enough for my family in the UK, but it's safe enough for Meghan to be alone in Paris, literally engaging with the paparazzi. You say, your mother?
Critics claimed it wasn't loyalty, it was selective morality. One insider summed it up bluntly. Every time her spotlight fades, she reaches for something controversial. It started to look like a pattern, and the cracks were just beginning to show. If Harry really did call Meghan out behind closed doors, where do you stand? Do you think he finally reached his breaking point, or was it an overreaction? Then came the post that sent shockwaves online. Samantha Markle, Meghan's half-sister, wrote, "Is it true that my sister was doing selfies in the tunnel where Diana died? That's what I'm hearing now." That comment blew up fast, with people flooding the internet to share their opinions. But once the noise settled, something more intentional started to take shape. Every headline, every controversy, every viral argument, none of it seemed random anymore. When you step back, it all starts forming a pattern. From Netflix deals to red carpet moments, the rhythm was always the same. Outrage hit first, silence followed, and then boom, the spotlight found its way back to Meghan again. Insiders started calling it the cycle: shock, pause, attention. And right in the middle of it all, Meghan herself. People close to the Sussex circle say Harry has started noticing the same thing too. They claim he's beginning to see that every public storm somehow ends up benefiting one person more than the other. The whispers say his emotional pain turns into her headline moment, and the memory of his mother becomes part of her image. Meghan entered the royal world like she was stepping onto a Hollywood set, convinced she could rewrite the story, position herself at the center, and trim away anything that didn't match her narrative.
If I know that this is a place that my husband hates because it's where he lost his mom, I'm not going to go there.
Behind that polished image and calm smile, sources say the playbook is simple. Take criticism and flip it into power. Turn backlash into buzz. That's the move. Even her appearance at the Balenciaga show was no accident. That brand still draws massive controversy, and controversy means attention. And when your name stays trending, visibility becomes power. For Meghan, that formula seems to work every time. But for Harry, it's breaking him down piece by piece. Friends now describe Harry as feeling stuck, torn between loyalty and exhaustion. Every time he defends Meghan, it's like he loses a little more of himself. Every time he tries to speak up, He ends up feeding the same storyline that keeps her in the headlines. She thrives in the chaos, but he's the one paying the emotional price. This whole situation stopped being about one video or one fashion show a long time ago. It's about control, emotional, public, and strategic, a plan built on provocation, wrapped in charm, and sold to the world as empowerment. And maybe that's the saddest part of all. What once looked like a love story between rebellion and royalty has turned into something colder, a brand built on controversy, powered by pain, and protected by flashing cameras. When Meghan showed up at Paris Fashion Week, she clearly wanted to project confidence, a mix of Hollywood glamour and royal mystery. But some critics didn't hold back, saying she was trying too hard to mirror iconic celebrity energy without having the same depth or talent. Others went further, calling her appearance overly staged and desperate for attention. And now the question everyone's asking:
This is Meghan Markle's sickest stunt yet. This weekend, she decided to invoke the memory of Princess Diana in a deliberate attempt to terrorize her long-suffering husband, Prince Harry.
Was it coincidence or careful calculation? Is Meghan using controversy as a way to stay in the spotlight? Or is she just caught in a never-ending media storm she can't escape? That night, Paris glowed gold under the lights, but the mood between the couple turned icy. Meghan wasn't being photographed as a star anymore. She was being analyzed like a mystery everyone was trying to solve. And Harry didn't take her hand this time. No shouting, no visible drama, just pure distance. Sometimes silence cuts deeper than any argument ever could. Online, people picked up on that instantly. The internet started mirroring the same tension everyone saw in their faces. Clips were slowed down, replayed, and broken apart frame by frame. Commentators and online experts treated every blink like it was evidence in a mystery case. A half smile became proof of arrogance. A look away was labeled guilt. Every tiny edit stripped away the warmth, turning Meghan into a colder, more distant version of who the public once thought she was. Then came the harsh takes. People online started debating their royal titles again. Some said Harry and Meghan should lose their titles. Others questioned, what are they even doing for the monarchy anymore?
She thinks that's a win, Brittany? No, we see you, Meghan. We see you, and now the world sees you.
Critics went after her outfit at Fashion Week, too, mocking it as a messy bedsheet look, saying she seemed wrapped in something thrown together last minute. Social media can be brutal, and this moment was no exception. Then came the footage that hit hard. Harry stepping out alone, surrounded by flashbulbs that popped like thunder. He didn't wait, didn't smile, just walked straight through the chaos, looking drained and detached. It was the image of a man carrying too much noise from the past, someone the world refuses to let find peace. Days later, Meghan appeared at a charity gala, stunning, confident, and acting like nothing had gone wrong. The cameras loved her glow, but behind that picture-perfect smile, her eyes seemed to tell another story. She wasn't looking for validation anymore. She was scanning the room, sizing up who still had her back and who didn't. That's the paradox of their story. The cleaner and more polished their image becomes, the more fractured the truth seems behind it. Every flash of the camera hides a shadow, and lately, that shadow seems to carry Harry's face. No warmth, no reunion, just two people walking separate paths under the same spotlight, pretending the connection is still there. The headlines cooled down.
Meghan entered this world like it was a Hollywood set, assuming she could rewrite the script, center herself in every scene, and edit out anything that didn't fit her narrative.
But the damage was already done. The crack between them wasn't just rumor anymore. It was real and visible. Days later, Meghan appeared at a charity gala, stunning, confident, and acting like nothing had gone wrong. The cameras loved her glow, but behind that picture-perfect smile, her eyes seemed to tell another story. She wasn't looking for validation anymore. She was scanning the room, sizing up who still had her back and who didn't. That's the paradox of their story. The cleaner and more polished their image becomes, the more fractured the truth seems behind it. Every flash of the camera hides a shadow, and lately, that shadow seems to carry Harry's face. No warmth, no reunion, just two people walking separate paths under the same spotlight, pretending the connection is still there. The headlines cooled down, but the damage was already done. The crack between them wasn't just rumor anymore, it was real and visible. Harry disappeared from the spotlight, choosing silence instead of another round of public drama. Meghan, on the other hand, went the opposite route. She turned up the visibility. While he stayed low-key, she was out there attending charity luncheons, showing up at curated events, and giving interviews to the most favorable outlets. Everything looked polished, perfectly styled, and tightly managed. Her message was loud even without a single quote. She wasn't backing down. She was taking control of the story. Control didn't seem to be about truth anymore. It was about narrative. Behind closed doors, royal advisors were reportedly whispering about how to manage the optics. Containment and restructuring became the buzzwords, but even the most loyal team couldn't hide what was really happening.
It's really quite sad.
Who does this? Who behaves like this?
The distance was clear. No more joint appearances, no matching smiles, no synchronized public moments. Some said Harry's quiet was strategy. Others believed it was self-preservation. Meanwhile, Meghan's circle painted a very different picture. Anonymous sources claimed she was being misunderstood and unfairly portrayed, the classic celebrity move that turns criticism into sympathy. Soon, the tabloids became her mirror, every new headline perfectly curated to reshape her image. Then came the fiery commentary. One critic said, "Anyone who doubted my warnings about this manipulative behavior owes me an apology because this video looks like it was designed to emotionally mess with her husband." That opinion spread quickly online, reigniting the conversation. Meanwhile, Harry was seen out alone. Quiet dinners, simple walks, no entourage, just him. Witnesses described him as withdrawn, shoulders heavier than before. He didn't look furious, just worn out. Insiders say he's finally realized something heartbreaking. Every apology he gives, every word he tries to fix, somehow becomes another headline that she controls. Then came whispers of something new, a rebranding project quietly pitched to Hollywood studios. The rumored theme, resilience, motherhood, and the story of women who feel misunderstood. And just like that, the familiar pattern started all over again. New sympathy, new headlines, and once more, silence from Harry. But this didn't feel like recovery, it felt like repetition, perfectly calculated. The controversy didn't disappear, it evolved. Because in their world, silence isn't surrender, it's staging. And sometimes that calm after the storm isn't peace at all. It's the sound of someone setting up their next big move. Every royal story usually ends with legacy, but this one, it refuses to stop there. For Harry, legacy was never about gold, crowns, or titles. It was about memories that still haunt him. His mother's face plastered across newspapers.
Harry and Meghan will likely have their titles stripped. I think they should have their titles stripped. What is she doing for the monarchy? She's going to fashion shows with this horrible outfit, which looks like a bed sheet. Looks like she's wrapped in toilet paper.
Her name brought up in endless interviews. Her tragedy replayed year after year like a film that never stops rolling. Now that same legacy has turned into the battlefield between grief and attention. In his quieter moments, friends say Harry still talks about Diana not as the people's princess, but as a mother who wanted peace and never truly found it. Those close to him say he carries that sadness like a permanent scar, one that never fades. And every time Meghan brings up Diana's name, wears her jewelry, or references her struggles, that wound feels like it's being reopened, not in private, but in full view of the world. It's discussed, shared, reposted, and turned into a trending topic. What should have been sacred now feels public, broadcasted, and analyzed by millions. Observers close to the royal circle claim what began as genuine admiration slowly shifted into imitation. Meghan's gestures, her fashion choices, even her public tone all seemed to echo Diana's legacy in subtle ways. And at one point, a clip surfaced that had everyone talking again. "Did you see this moment right here?" one viewer said. "It was almost too uncomfortable to watch. She seems to laugh at something, but it's clear no one else finds it funny." She turns towards Marcus Anderson, her close friend who's reportedly been by her side through much of this, as if expecting him to join in. But witnesses claim he looks serious, quietly telling her to calm down and focus, reminding her to just behave and keep things professional. That's when, according to insiders, her mood changes completely, from amused to visibly frustrated. At that point, it stopped being about honoring the past and started feeling more like controlling the narrative around it. And that's what really breaks Harry down.
Meghan is doing her own thing. Harry, go whatever with you. I'm doing what I want to do.
Because to the world, he's still Diana's son, not his own man trying to move forward. Every new headline drags him back into the past. Every public controversy reminds him that he's still living in a story that was written long before he ever had a say. Meanwhile, Meghan seems untouched, still turning emotional moments into public statements, still speaking about empowerment while standing in the middle of another woman's powerful legacy. This doesn't feel like rebellion anymore. It's reinvention, over and over again. And every new performance doesn't just leave a mark on her image, it leaves a mark on history itself, especially the legacy she keeps referencing. That's the painful twist here. The very legacy that once lifted them up could now be what pulls them down. Because when you build a brand using someone else's heartbreak, the echoes eventually come back louder than ever. And this time, that echo sounds hauntingly familiar. It sounds like Diana's story replaying through a new generation. Maybe it was coincidence, maybe it wasn't, but one thing feels certain now. Nothing around this couple happens by chance anymore. For years, people believed in the fairy tale, the prince who walked away from the palace and the woman who promised freedom and change. But now, all that's left is the noise. Two figures surrounded by flashing lights, caught inside a script they can't seem to rewrite. Meghan looks at the past and sees opportunity, while Harry looks at the same past and sees pain. And somewhere between those two perspectives, love seems to have quietly slipped away. That moment at the Paris tunnel wasn't just a poor decision, it was a reflection of everything their story has become. A moment where tragedy met publicity, and where grief slowly turned into content. He's chasing peace, while she's chasing the spotlight that keeps the noise alive. And hanging in the silence between them is the question the whole world keeps asking. When every move becomes a headline, how can anyone tell what's real and what's performance? Maybe that's why Harry finally reached his breaking point. Because behind every camera flash, every polished interview, and every whispered exclusive, there's one thing he can no longer protect: his mother's memory being used as part of the never-ending media machine. It's a heartbreaking loop where the past keeps being traded for attention. So maybe the world doesn't need another photo op, another carefully worded statement, or another apology crafted by PR teams. Maybe what's really missing is honesty, something rarer than fame and far more valuable once it's gone. If you want to dig even deeper into this ongoing story and uncover how far this pattern of control and chaos truly stretches, check out our previous investigation, where we broke down the entire public tug-of-war between Harry and Meghan. And hey, don't forget to like, comment, and share your thoughts below. Do you think this was all coincidence or part of something bigger? Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss our next deep dive, where we look beyond the drama and straight into the truth that lives between the headlines. See you in the next one.